Welcome to the V Spot. I am Vicky.
And I'm Velvet.
How are you, Velvet? How do you start? You just gotta be like.
I know we were talking about that. We're like either like just jump right in or small talk. What do we do? We just do us. That's what we do.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Because there's not a lot of scenarios in life where you actually have to start a conversation in a formal.
That's right.
This is the beginning of our conversation. You just kind of start talking.
We're just like, hey.
Yeah, so this episode is going to be kind of a catch-up because we actually haven't talked in a while.
No, it's been so long. There's been so much going on.
Yep, we've been busy and we haven't not talked. I mean, I kind of know what's going on in your life. You know what's going on in mine, but we haven't gotten into it.
No, it's been a long, like a month, I feel like, since we've had like a chat.
Mm-hmm. We'll try to keep this under a couple hours.
We'll paraphrase everything.
Fun fact, we don't edit our episodes for the most part. So
you get the full conversation.
You get what we're talking about. I feel like before we start, we should probably do our little Spotify and our little public pleas. I don't know what to call it. If you guys could go on to Spotify or Apple Music or both, whatever you listen to us on, and rate us no less than 5 stars.
Only 5 stars.
Or don't bother. It would be very helpful.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I mean, we definitely have had way more of a response than we were ever expecting to have. And so now we're like, all right, this is kind of fun. Let's do this a little bit.
Do it.
So yeah, if you could rate us on, like Vicky said, Spotify or Apple or wherever we're on all major streaming services. So if there's a rating available, rate us up. It's totally a selfish request, but we're doing it. Just rate us. But only if it's going to be a 5, because otherwise we don't want it. And why are you listening if you don't think we're a 5? Come on.
That's a true story.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
That's it. That was a little bit of housekeeping.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else, do we? I'm trying to think of any feedback that we have from old episodes that we need to clarify. Or
I wouldn't mind hearing some more like topical things that people might be interested in listening to.
Yeah.
Like giving some suggestions on topics. We have some topics coming up here still. Like we've got lots in the kitty that we have available, but it's always fun to know what other people are maybe thinking or what they'd like to hear about. I mean, just because you just suggest it doesn't mean we necessarily have thoughts on it, so it won't necessarily happen. But chances are we do have thoughts on it.
We have a girls' trip that we're taking in a few weeks, and I think it'd be fun to do an episode just talking about what happens on the girls' trips, because you know it's going to be an interesting time.
Always a good time. Can we talk about that for just a minute and my frustration with Airbnb?
Oh, dear God.
I'm so tired of people canceling my reservation. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years that I have booked with Airbnb and I've been canceled on.
People fly from out of country and book at these places.
It's actually ridiculous.
What happens now if they can't find somewhere else?
It's actually like, I don't know why they can just do that.
And then you can't rate them because you haven't used them. You can't even give any kind of feedback.
No, after they've canceled it, you can't. Yeah. They did. I did see something. So this last, like you said, we're going away for a girls' trip. And so we were renting a house because we wanted to sit back and do nothing. And we want to be on the ocean and had the view and all that. Just chill, do nothing. Found this great spot. And then I didn't see it because it went to my junk mail. But that same day, the lady messaged me and said, hey, we've had someone inquire that would like to do for a 3-month rental, which I get. Like a long-term rental for them is great as opposed to 3 nights with us. I understand that.
Yeah,
I
you're
get
not going to
it.
give up on the 3 months.
However, if that is the case, then those people for 3 days need to leave. We come in for those 3 days and then they can come back. They need to find a hotel or something for 3 days. Like that's what makes sense to me. You don't cancel the people that have already booked. And it
Yeah.
wasn't even like, I'm just going to cancel it. She said, give us till Friday because they're going to come look at the place to make sure it's for what they
Yeah.
need. So then I reached out to her and she said, oh yeah, they're going to take it. And then she told me to cancel it. I'm like, I'm not canceling it. You cancel it. I don't want to look at on my end that I'm canceling
No.
things. So she canceled it. Then they give you, I don't know if it's Airbnb or if it comes out of those people's pocket, but they give you a bit of a credit. This one was for like $73. They must do some sort of percentage. They gave me a credit. You have to use it within 30 days towards a new booking. It can be a booking within the next year, but the booking has to be for the same amount or more. So I
Okay.
found another place for us,
But it was
it's
less.
less. So I can't even use that credit. What?
Yeah, that's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating. So another time we had a captive designer, a staff party. I had rented a house. We were going to go for a couple nights. Had a pool it was winter. We
I
had a pool
know.
in the basement. It was going to be our Christmas party. Indoor pool in the basement. We were so excited. The week before, the lady's like, oh, we had a leak and we have renovations. You can still take the place, but you can only have these places, like these rooms in the house. And they were going to give me like 10% off and we couldn't use the swimming pool. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's the whole
what?
point.
No, like, and then but she knew about it way before and
Yeah.
then waited. I was like,
Because she was probably hoping the rentals would be done or was
it's
like hanging on.
ridiculous. So we ended up not even having anywhere to go.
I know, that was sad.
It's ridiculous.
We were
Like,
all so excited about that.
and then I booked for Brooklyn. She was going to go away with her boyfriend, so I booked her this like yurt in like the Okanagan. They were going to go for a night last year. Same thing. Next day, canceled on me without any reasoning. Just canceled. I'm like, so now this is the third time that I've been. And I said something to Kyle, and Kyle's like, apparently this is an actual issue with Airbnb. Like people have been complaining that the owners of these properties are allowed to just cancel for whatever they want. That's ridiculous.
People plan like we booked one. I didn't book it, but our friends booked it for a place in Bath in England. I can't even imagine if the cancellation had landed in our junk mail. She didn't notice.
Right.
And then we're in freaking Bath, like without a place to stay.
It's actually ridiculous. Like I don't know how they're allowed. There should be a penalty of some sort to the people that are canceling.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like your rating needs to go down, or there needs to be like
Something.
like some sort of like
Monetary.
ding on, like at least people can see that you have canceled on people before.
Right.
Like buyer
but I
beware
can't even leave a
situation.
message. She was being kind at least, and they don't live in this area. Obviously, they live close by, but this is just their vacation home. So she's like, it's like a community of vacation homes. So she's like, let me reach out to my friends and see if they have anything available. So she gave me a couple like names to look on Airbnb for their properties, but it was like an extra $500 for each of them. I'm like, no. So I appreciated the help. And then she said, I'll keep asking, but can I get your phone number? Because as soon as she canceled, all my information went away. So I went to give her my phone number. Airbnb won't let me give her a phone number or an email address because I no longer have a booking. It literally says it flags it and won't send the message.
Wow.
So I ended up typing out my phone number like SIXZERO like and sent her my phone number that way to get it to her. But I'm like, they make it so hard. Like
Because
I have no access to the people after.
They probably also don't want the booking happening in private.
Right.
They want it going through.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
fair, but like, come on. Like, anyway, it's very disappointing. You need to do better, Airbnb. It's ridiculous that,
Yeah.
thank goodness we found, and found a cuter place. I don't think it has much of a view, but it was cute. It's brand
smaller.
new. Yeah, it's brand new.
But who cares?
For what we need it for is fine.
We've had four of us share one hotel room
totally.
before.
Oh,
So
I'm not worried about that. It's just,
no, it's perfect
Yeah.
for what we need. It's
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah, and I'm glad we're doing it because I feel like I definitely need just a change of scenery for sure. Just I haven't been away forever.
yeah, I'm not feeling like that, but I just definitely feel like I don't know, it's just been busy. Lots of stuff like going on right now. We got end of this school year, prom.
Yeah,
It's been taking a lot of time. Commencement.
yeah,
Let's talk about commencement.
yeah. That's a doozy, isn't it?
Holy schmoly.
Yeah, we didn't have to do it with our oldest because it was COVID and it was all online, so you could kind of fast forward through most of it. But commencement,
Needs to be cut in half.
yeah, I don't understand.
It is too long. I'm sorry. Those kids do not want to sit through an hour and a half of speeches.
Parents don't want to sit through.
Or parents, exactly.
Yeah.
But an hour and a half before we even get to them walking. Like,
no.
if I understand speeches, but keep it to like 3 minutes then. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a 15-minute speech. We don't have to have each musical group playing 2 songs. Play
Numbers.
1 song. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yep.
just cut it in half.
Everyone's speech needs to be 5 minutes.
The valedictorian is the only person, in my opinion, that was allowed to have that amount of time.
Yeah.
Give her 10 minutes. Give her 15 minutes. Other than that, no. Like, it's just too much for everybody involved. No one's even paying attention by the time their kid is walking the stage.
No. And not to mention, like, even the monotony of what's happening. You are actually only there for your kid. Let's be honest.
Totally.
Unless your kid is valedictorian, no one really is caring about the valedictorian speech. Like, it's interesting because it's a student, you want to hear their perspective, and of course it's a wonderful thing to be valedictorian. Like,
Sure.
I would never disrespect that.
No, so
speech.
I'm saying they deserve their time.
But let's be honest, if that speech is going a little bit too long, we're getting bored.
Right.
And so are the students.
Right.
So let's keep it to a minimum.
No, this valedictorian was fantastic. It wasn't too long. It was interesting. Like, I appreciated her.
Yeah.
Everything else, there was even, not in being maybe petty, but so the kids vote on who's going to be the valedictorian, and I think ultimately, I'm pretty sure, just from experiencing it now from 2 of my kids, the teachers end up being the final
say so. Yeah.
But just because I heard how everybody voted, like both McKenna and Brooklyn were like, we know so many voted for this way and this way, and then that person didn't get it. So
They're
it was
just making the
weird.
kids feel like they have to say.
Exactly,
And they don't.
but which is fine. But so 2 of the kids that were nominated went up and did a speech to like the parents. Fine. But at the end of the speech, those kids' parents each got a bouquet of flowers, like thanking the parents. I was like, are you kidding me? Why do their parents get flowers? I know that's so petty, but I'm like, why are we just saying thank you to those parents?
Yeah, that's dumb.
It was dumb.
dumb.
And then the one couldn't find their parents because we had to walk. We're in Prospera Center, so I had
That's
to walk
dumb.
down to get it was like, so that just added to time too. But I was like, okay, so we're giving these massive bouquets of flowers to these 2 kids that didn't get valedictorian. Like, I understand what they were trying to say is thank you, parents, but say thank you. Don't
It's
give
also
something.
a waste of time.
And there's that.
We're eating time up. Like,
I know you say thank you. You're welcome. Let's go. I'm not here to hear you. Like, let's do this. Let's get on with it.
we have so many kids to celebrate, and I would rather have more time spent saying more about each individual kid
Yes.
and something about them
Yes.
than having to listen to all those speeches.
one's listening.
Let's maybe have a teacher say something kind about that student, or say something,
Right.
and then those parents can hear something.
Yes.
About their kid.
Absolutely. That'd be fantastic.
Why are we listening to like, some people we don't know, adults we don't know?
Well, it's like the
People in the
superintendent of this,
community.
and then someone else that's on the school board,
Yeah.
and then this, and the principal. I get the principal doing a speech. She did a great speech as well. But like, there were so many members of the community that did not need to be speaking. I'm sorry.
Let's spend more of our time on the students.
On the students. They're not listening.
I'd rather hear more about them, to be honest with you.
Please tell me something funny.
Exactly.
A memory that one of the teachers had of that. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. I'm bringing that up. I'm going to get on the pack
Give them the pack. Yeah.
for Ashton. Let's change things up a bit. It's too much. It was over 3 hours, and Chilliwack doesn't even have that big a graduating class.
No.
That's the thing. I mean, I think there was 318 or something, which is still
Yeah.
significant,
Can you
but
imagine these
not.
American high schools that have like 700
Or even
graduates?
Vancouver.
Yeah.
They have massive grad classes.
They must not put that much time into the speeches.
I would hope not.
Because, I mean, graduation ceremonies are notoriously long. Like, everyone kind of knows it.
And that's fair.
It's just the waste of time. It's
They
just
didn't
the waste
even
of time.
like when we graduated. They announced like everybody's scholarships and everything. There was nothing like that. Like, as a kid walked, they'd be like, blah 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 blah. I got a scholarship for blah. There was nothing like that said.
Really?
Each kid wrote their own like little quote.
There's no like what
and that was
scholarships
it.
they got.
No.
See that? No, that's where the time needs to be spent.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be about the students.
And my kids don't even get scholarships. They don't even apply for scholarships. So it's not even like a thing that I need to hear. I still think
but
it's important.
it is important.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's important.
Yeah.
Or like what they were involved in high school, or
Something.
just more about them. If the superintendent wants to have words, give us a program with their words in it.
Exactly.
And then if we want to read their words, we can read their words.
So there's this too. This is kind of sidebar. So kids got their yearbook. So McKenna did for the senior. I'm going to sound so petty, but I'm actually a little bit upset too. So next day I went up and I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's very just like basic, like just pictures. There's no writing. There's nothing. It's
in the
weird.
yearbook?
In the yearbook. It's just pictures. And then I'm on like a group chat or like a page or something on Facebook for like the parents of the school. And dad spoke up and was like, and I didn't even notice it because I didn't even make it through the whole yearbook, but he's like, there is no mention of the music program at all in the yearbook. There's one little picture of the drum line, and we have an amazing drum line at Sardis.
Amazing,
like, we're known
drum
for it.
Yes.
Apparently the band this year won like all these awards and all this. There isn't a picture, there's not a mention, nothing of any of the music department.
That's terrible.
All the school sports, there's no names of the kids that are in the sports.
No.
There's no grad quotes underneath the grad pictures.
Really?
There's no writing. It's all pictures. It's bizarre. It's ghetto.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's a ghetto yearbook.
Wow.
But people are mad. And then they had this thing where you could send in your baby photos of the grads. There's one kid whose name is under like 7 of them. It's not him. One of them is him, but his name got put under like 7 of them.
Fantastic.
And then... So I was going to submit one. I gave McKenna the option and she said she was going to submit it. Of course she didn't. So she's not even in it. But then I'm reading all these parents who did submit their photos and they're not even in there.
Robin submitted a grad quote for her yearbook and it didn't get in.
What?
And she did it on time too. She's like, I put it in and it didn't get in.
Okay, well, she's like the anomaly on that one then. At least they had, because they had grad quotes in that yearbook. But like, there's no writing.
Yeah,
it's all just pictures.
I wonder if somebody on the yearbook committee was like, no one reads the writing anyways. Let's just do pictures. It's someone's bad idea.
I don't know, but I mean, the kids don't ultimately care. I actually feel a bit more bad for like the kids that aren't graduating this year. They're like, I was in like some kids, that's their thing, like jazz band or drumline. That's their thing. They're maybe not on the basketball team.
Yeah, but that's what makes high school.
Right.
Like it's the clubs that you're in. It's
that's
the groups that you're in.
So why are they not included in that?
Especially the music. Music is a huge part of high school.
Huge.
Like you want to see pictures of that.
Especially when they're accomplished as well. They're not just some like rinky dinky. They're very accomplished.
Yeah, people get like scholarships in music and they move on to do like that's what high school.
I don't know.
That's bad.
It's just bizarre. The whole graduation thing this year has been very anticlimactic, I guess. I thought it was anticlimactic with Brooklyn and Robin because they didn't even have it.
No.
Now I'm thankful they didn't have commencement and have to sit through that.
I knew commencement was awful. And so when it was online, I was very upset they didn't get a grad in a prom because I feel like they should have. That's
the prom, I felt bad for them, yeah.
They could have had a prom.
They absolutely could have. They still did. They had their own little private proms
that doesn't
everywhere.
Count.
That's what I'm saying, but they were still in groups together. It's not like they weren't together.
They could have worked out a way.
An outdoor one even.
Exactly. Yeah. That was okay, this is a complete sidebar now, but this is my rant. That was such lazy planning. Mm-hmm. They could have done something for those kids.
I agree.
It could have been outside. And
I agree.
Even if they can't do that, they could have done something else. Like those kids didn't get a grad cruise. They got nothing. And Robin's point, she goes, it was worse for us because the year before everyone felt sorry for the grads and they were celebrated more. And
they got their grad cruise still that year.
And that's what she said. She goes,
they only didn't get prom.
She goes, they at least got their grad cruise. Yeah. She's like, and my daughter, who is not overly gay high school, was extremely disappointed by all of that. Like it really bugged her. I'm like, yeah. And zero effort was put into anything. Yeah. It
was too bad.
Yeah, it was too bad. That really bothered me. But anyways, that's a sidebar. But
we complain if there's not enough. We complain if there's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
It's too much. Yeah, I don't know. Too many.
Whatever. It's been it's just been a lot of just the last couple of weeks. It's been like that. We're like, what on earth?
And ultimately, I mean, fast forward 10 years, 15 years, whatever, even a year, all of this is so no one cares.
Totally.
You don't think about these things ever again, really.
also another thing that is now, I don't know if it's trending or like if this is a thing or if this is just a thing with this grad class or maybe just my kids' friend group. No one asks each other to go to prom anymore.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
I don't know why that bothers you so much.
It's because they're all friends. Why would you all not just grab a girl and go to prom? There's something about going to prom with a date. There is just something.
You like that.
I'd say 99% of people like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's so bizarre. All the guys are just like, oh, because the girls aren't going to ask the guys. Well, they were thinking about it, and then we put that to bed. But they're all like, oh, we're going to go as like the guy groups. F your guy groups.
I just feel like you really like. I think people were like, "Oh, it's sweet to go as a couple," but
not a couple, and it's not even a couple thing.
You're still coupling up.
I
don't mean you're dating. I'm just saying you're coupling up.
I'm sorry, but I'd say the majority of girls want to be asked to go to prom. It doesn't even matter who it's from. They want to get asked to go to prom and go to prom with somebody.
I do not know teenage girls, so I cannot speak for them. But I'd have to find out what they really want.
I would. All the girls that I have spoken to,
so you think
feel this way.
The boys are changing the trend in prom culture?
I do. They want to go as bros.
Interesting.
Like, stop.
I would be interested then to know when McKenna goes if other friend groups have coupled up. Kids are not going together this year. It's just big groupings. That's what I've heard that from other high schools as well.
And that's what I'm saying. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah, I heard that from. It's more of a friend.
Because even Brooke's here, they didn't have proms. I mean, she had 2 separate ones, but not really. Both of them she had a date for.
Yeah,
everybody did. Like, it's just what you do in my head. I don't know. Whatever. Boys.
Yeah. See, like I don't have kids at that age. I don't think I would be emotionally invested in either concept.
I just think it's weird. Like these are some of her best guy friends.
Yeah.
It's not romantic.
No, of course
with
not.
A date.
But I just don't know what the difference is. They're still all going together. They're all going to have fun together. Like, what is it about?
I don't know. If there's something about a girl just wants their photos. Like, so we did prom photos yesterday. It wasn't their prom. It's not until next week, or this week, I guess now. But we did photos with a smaller group of her friends yesterday. And you just can't take the same photos unless you have we did some obviously with not couples, but like a guy and a girl together, like her friends who she's been friends with for forever. But there's certain photos you can take when they have a prom date.
So you really like the idea of them pairing off.
Because it's cute photos.
Right.
I think that's what it's mostly for me. I like to get the cute photos.
Right.
So there's some. I mean, I would grab a guy. I'm like, get over here, do this with her, that type of thing. Just because Kyle's taking the photos, right? So I could, and the guys are fine doing it.
So then what's happening with corsages? And
I bought my kid a corsage.
Yeah.
And her best friend. Mm-hmm. She's going to come over. So her best friend's boyfriend goes to a different school. So they're going together.
There's reasons why I like the idea of pairing off. And there's reasons why I don't like the idea of pairing off. So what I like about the pairing off is things like that. I think it's cute to get a corsage. Yes. It's the photos. It's the tradition of it.
Yes.
I just remember when I was in high school, if you didn't have someone to go with, you didn't go. Like it was very much, you didn't go with groups of friends. You went with somebody. You would go with a group of paired off people.
Right.
But you never went solo. You did not show up. So I think it's nice for people who don't feel like they have someone to ask or don't feel like they have that dynamic with somebody or they just feel like the odd one out, that they can still go with a group of friends and have a good time and not feel like the weirdo.
I feel like those groups of people end up going together anyway, though, as a group.
They do now. But I feel like when I was, at least I can only speak about my grad year, it was very much the dynamic. Like if everyone went with somebody. Like I know people who went with people they hardly talked to all year because they just had.
You did a prom date. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to go with somebody.
I know, but I like that. I like the tradition of that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have a prom date, it's wonderful. I just felt bad for the people who didn't have prom dates.
And I get that, but there's always going to be someone left out of every single situation, every single scenario of everything. You know what I mean? There's always going to be somebody. But that, I mean, to me, that comes down to being inclusive with everything all the time. No one's going with it because that one person doesn't have it. I don't like that mentality. It's like the allergy thing.
But I don't think that they're doing this because of that mentality. That's just my own person. I don't think the guys are like wanting to go with the guys because they don't want people to be left out. I think it's just that.
Oh, not even a little
that's
bit.
Just from that's just more for me. That's one positive I can see out of it. That's all I'm saying.
Totally.
Like I wouldn't. I'm not emotionally invested either way. Like I don't think they should ever say like, oh yeah, clearly you're. I would never say, oh, no dates this year. Like, of course, like people shouldn't bring dates. No, of course. Like I think it's sweet and cute and lovely.
I think I just think it's cute. Again, it doesn't even have to. It's not a romantic thing. I think that's where it goes in their heads. Though, is automatically you're going with someone. Now there's like, ooh, nah, these are your buddies. Like it's just fun. The process of it is fun.
Yeah, I don't think I know anybody that loves prom as much as you do.
I love prom.
Yeah,
but we always take photos for people too, right? Like
no, you love it.
We love the prom.
You're very
thing.
Much about I love it. Like, do you like prom movies and prom?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love. I love the tradition of it. Like rituals. That's my thing. I love that type of thing. I don't know. I just like everybody getting dressed up and looking cute and
for sure.
I don't know. I like it, but I'm annoyed that
I know
all the guys
think
are just like
I think it's so funny. The girls are still gonna go and have a great time, and
to the point where I almost had words with the boys, and then I didn't.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's different. I can talk to them like that. It's fine.
I'm sure you can, but it's ridiculous that you'd feel like you needed to. That's all.
Not that
I'm
I
saying.
needed to. I wanted to.
It's ridiculous that you wanted to.
I don't think that's ridiculous.
Oh,
that I can be like, hey boys, the girls really would love to go with dates.
Yeah, it's not.
That's ridiculous.
What if they don't want to go up?
And they said then they wouldn't.
Oh my gosh.
I have no problem mingling. In there.
You are so opinionated about prom. It's so funny.
Why?
Because they're all happy. They're gonna have a great time.
But the girls aren't. That's the thing.
They want dates so bad.
Yes, they want dates.
McKenna wants a date.
Yes.
Yeah. Then why aren't they asking?
Because they're babies.
Well, that's you know what? I don't feel sorry for them.
Because they're afraid. Because all the guys have said no, pretty much before asking. Oh, no, we all want to go together. I also think that it's certain guys in the group, and then all the guys just follow suit. Well, I think a lot of them would have gone, but whatever. Grad 2023
Velvet
boys.
has strong opinions about the prom.
Oh, we're gonna have a chat, boys.
She really she's really emotionally invested in the goings on of 17-year-olds.
It's in 2 days, and nothing's gonna happen now. We good, and by the time this comes out, it'll be way past. But
no, and fast forward a year, it's not going to be a big deal.
Oh, my heart's not hurt over it. I just think I feel like
I think your heart's hurt over it a little bit.
Zero heart. I think the boys are being stupid though.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't care.
I hear my dog.
I think it's I think they'll all go and they're gonna have a wonderful time anyway.
Oh, I don't doubt
I do think it's lame to have to buy your own daughter a corsage.
Right.
I think it's kind of cute to have a boy bring her corsage.
Again, it's the tradition of it.
It is a tradition of it for sure. But yeah, whatever.
Everybody's just taking the tradition out of everything now and changing it.
Ruining it for middle-aged moms who are emotionally invested.
I love shit like this. I love high school.
You do love high school for sure.
I love all that. So I can't help it.
Yeah. Why do you think you love high school so much?
I don't know. I just did. I really liked high school.
You liked it when you were in it too?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you just loved it.
Yeah.
Do you think you peaked?
I knew you were going to say that because we've talked about that before.
I'm taking a drink.
No, I don't.
I don't think you peaked
I hope
in high
I
school.
didn't.
No, you didn't.
I just have really fond memories of high school.
Yep, for sure.
And so I'd like to be there still.
I think
back in my head.
I think in the States, it's university or college.
Right.
Like it's those 4 years are like the big thing. Like
I don't know. They prom it up. They have like their
prom is huge. But I also think that
throughout the year they have like their formals, their spring formals.
But I feel like in Canada, after high school, that's it.
Yeah, we don't celebrate past that really.
We don't. Whereas I feel like in the States, you still have these like major milestones that happen into college. And I think that's cool. Like you have like sororities and you have all that culture.
I think it's
which
pushed
I love.
more there too, though. Don't you think?
What's
Do you think
that?
it's pushed more? University?
Like, what do you mean, going to university?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't know if
Like it's more of a lifestyle, right?
It's what you do.
Everybody just goes.
I mean, if we're to believe American movies,
No, they act like they
They
all
act-
just
they
go.
all apply for
Yeah.
college. They all, like they spend all grade 12 year like applying and figuring which ones they're going to go to. And there's like
Totally.
the day where they all find out which ones
like
they
a
got
big
accepted
deal.
into.
Yeah.
Like we just don't have that culture here at all. That's one way I feel bad for our kids. I think it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to
I
have
agree.
that 4 years away from your parents, just living with your friends on campus. Like
Yeah.
that's freaking
You
fun.
grow so much
Yeah.
too, right?
I think that's fun.
Maybe our kids are stunted because they don't do that. Live in our homes, and
Yeah, I mean, our kids go to university. It's just a different culture.
a lot of kids. I feel though a lot of kids. I mean, they do around here too, but they still kind of stay local. Like in
Yeah,
our area,
yeah.
especially, we've got a lot of big universities.
And they can live at home.
UBC, we've got UVic, you've got
UFE.
SFU. We've got
SFU.
major universities all around us, right? So you can
Yeah.
either stay at home or you're close enough that you're home on the weekends or whatever, right? Like you're not away.
It just, I mean, I know UVic has got a strong campus culture, and
Mm-hmm.
I think UBC does too. I think that's it. Like, I don't think
yeah,
there's
I
a
agree.
strong campus culture. I don't know, but
The
SFU
Eastern
schools
universities
do.
would for sure, but not.
it's just not the same here. And I just kind of feel like that grade 12 is the last year where there's any kind of tradition or anything like that. And in the States, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
UFV does not have a culture, I feel.
Oh, no.
And that's probably the one that most kids go to in this area.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, there's
So,
no
yeah.
campus life, campus
No,
culture.
there's no-
I think they would like there to be, I'm sure there,
Sure.
but no. And you have two different
There's like satellite schools too, right? Like there's different
Yeah.
campuses. There's different in different cities.
in different cities.
Yeah.
Of course there would be.
Yeah.
Like there's no like I think there is housing there.
There's
but
housing
not-
in Abbotsford, I think, but it's not the same
It's not
type
the
of housing.
same.
It's like an apartment building that you can kind of live
nearby.
in. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
as if you're all like
Yeah.
on this big.
Exactly.
It's I would have loved college, like the American style, living on the
Totally.
campus. Like
I did it for about 2.5 months at Bible college.
I would have,
And it was so fun.
Yes.
That's why I went. I wanted to live on campus
yeah.
and do that, and then I got married instead. But, yeah.
You're just like with the same people, and
Mm-hmm.
I just got, and even like the whole like parties
The dorm
and
thing.
dorms.
It's fun. It was fun. It's a very fond memory. I was only there for a
Yeah.
couple months, but it was definitely
I think Canadian kids are for sure
missing out.
missing out.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've heard too that like it's actually not like, of course the Ivy League schools are very expensive
Yeah.
or whatever, but these schools actually give out a ton of money to students to go there for more affordable
Mm-hmm.
prices. Like even their like state colleges there's ways of, they give away a lot of scholarships.
Yeah.
They give away a lot of money
Yeah.
in the States. So
It's more feasible
It's-
to go. I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
totally.
And I think you just go. It's what you do.
It's what you do. You
Yeah.
pick your
You're not done at high school.
No.
You carry on for another 4
High
years.
school's just the beginning
If it's
of-
community college or whatever, you still go to some
and
sort
it's
of college.
in high school you're ramping up for that. That's
Yeah.
what you're ramping up for.
Yeah.
Whereas in Canada it's like, okay, grade 12, you're an adult now. Whereas States like, no, you got 4 more years of being a kid, and
Yeah.
these are gonna be the funnest years of your life.
Yeah. No, we definitely, I think, miss out on that.
Yeah. It's too bad. Anyway.
Do you notice anything different about me?
Oh. Did you get your Brazilian butt lift?
Well, you wouldn't be able to tell right now, but no.
Anything different?
Yeah, where do you think
about
I've been? No. Okay, good. So I went to get my Botox retouched. And I got there and she's like, we could probably wait another 4 weeks. And I'm like, cool. Like, I'm glad she said that, because why would I get it? Like, I'm starting to get movement again. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't move anything before, but I'm
Right.
getting movement again. Anyway, so I'm going back in 2 weeks now. It's been 2 weeks since I was there. Anyway, so I go in, and so I'm like, well, what about like, because I had eye filler I had done, right, which helped with the wrinkle, because I had really deep dark circles under my eyes, and so that it definitely helped. I was like super happy with the with the results. And then she's like, well, most people don't do eye filler because they don't have a deep enough. You have to have like a deep enough like crevice under your eye to even put the filler in. So a lot of people aren't even candidates for it. And so she goes, what we normally do is actually a cheek filler.
I was going to say maybe
pulls it up. Okay, so I get this cheek filler.
Yeah, I can see it now.
It's way better now. I looked like a chipmunk for 2 weeks because there's inflammation and stuff, right?
I think I saw
I know you did. That one of me and Cammie where I was like this and I'm all cheek.
Yeah.
So there's other photos even.
I thought it was just the angle.
It wasn't. It was also the angle, but it was cheek.
I was like, what's going on there?
Because I took a picture with McKenna's friend in the parking lot before commencement, and I had it done on a Tuesday. Commencement was on a Thursday, I think. So I just had it done. And it said it can take, tomorrow it's 2 weeks since I've had it. So it says it takes 2 weeks before you kind of start seeing what it's going to look like. But the day one, I had no inflammation. So I was like, oh, and then the next day I started having it. Anyway, you couldn't tell unless I was smiling.
Right.
So I was fine. And then I'd smile.
And it was just
you still can kind of see it in here. Like I'm still a little puffy in here.
I almost said cheek when you asked me, but I'm like, I didn't want to be like, your cheeks are really like, because what if you're like, no, they're not?
Totally. But it was so big that I looked like I was like. It
was indented.
It was, I looked ridiculous.
So how do you feel about the results of it now though? Like
I don't think I'll do it again.
Yeah.
It hurt that night. So the filler itself has like a numbing cream in it. So you feel the needles, but it actually going in, when it's going in, then it just starts numbing. So it was that night, all of a sudden, you know when the numbing starts coming after you've had major dental work, but my whole face felt like nerve endings.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I had like a face headache for like 2 days. I was dying. And then I looked like a chipmunk. And her whole thing was like, she doesn't want people to look like chipmunks. Like she hates that look.
It's not a great look. No.
The whole point is you kind of put in here.
It's lifting. And it pulls. It's a non-surgical kind of face.
That's right. Exactly.
Bit, yeah.
And so I was looking at before and afters and stuff. I'm like, oh, you can totally tell before and afters. Like that it is. She did befores for me. So I'd like to see after.
Right.
I didn't take my own befores because I wasn't planning on getting it done that day. But I came home though and Kyle was like, are you freaking kidding me? Stop. He goes, I knew you were going to do this. He's like, stop. I'm like, I'm done. But it slowly is now absorbed.
Right.
But it was so hard. Like I could feel it in there. Like it felt like hard, like gel almost under my cheek. But it was so weird. But so yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm not like, I don't think I'll do it again.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to look plastic.
You know what? It's not even like the looking plastic thing. It's just, okay, who's the example? The one that's married to John Legend, what's her name?
Chrissy Teigen.
I cannot stand the work that she's had. I think she is a naturally beautiful woman, and I think that her cheeks are so chipmunky. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, why?
So now that I've had it done and I can kind of see. Now when I watch like Real Housewives, they all do have it.
Yes, they do.
But I'm like, why don't I think they look like chipmunks? I guess because it's gradual.
And I think when they all have it too, like, you're just comparing them to each other. But when you're like walking around with like average people with regular,
what is happening to my face? I'm still kind of like yesterday. Davina was like, "Can we take a picture?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm a little chipmunky still, but it's better."
Yeah, no, I would never have.
I've been smiling like this. Right. Not like this. Because as soon as I go like my
I noticed that smile in your picture with Cammie.
I know.
I'm like, oh, that's not her normal smile. I was like wondering why you had smiled like that because it's not your normal smile. Yeah. And I noticed, I'm like, something going on with her.
And it was the angle too, because it was just my cheeks, right? Because of the way I was.
Not that picture.
Oh.
I noticed the cheeks for sure in that picture because it was an angle. I thought
the one from yesterday, the one I took today.
I noticed that your smile was a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing for me to observe.
No, because I usually do full teeth smile.
Yeah, I'm like,
why
is she smiling like that?
Because I'm very aware of how my cheeks
look. I thought maybe
look.
like something wasn't going right or like you were like.
No, it was because I don't want to look.
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah, it
was bad timing. I was like, of course I did it when I'm never in front of a camera.
How would you have predicted that though? Like for it to be that obvious?
I don't know. I probably should have asked. I'm just very blind. Like, oh sure, let's try it. That's felt
in the moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that about you.
Yeah. I'll do the under eye again. I definitely like that. She just said I couldn't get any more right now. So she's like, but we could do this. But
that was actually like, I mean, I don't look at you and think, oh, she needs work. But
no, but it actually changed.
The under, like really, really like just made you look so much more awake.
I agree.
Like, and just so fresh
I
faced.
still have wrinkles under my eyes. It just did something. It felt, I don't know. I agree. It did.
That was great.
I was happy with those results.
just-
and the Botox. I was happy with that too.
Yeah, I'll for sure do Botox.
Botox and eye filler, and that's all that will be
For
doing.
now.
No, I'm good. It scared me. Because
you're not recognizing your own face.
it's 9 months. This lasts for 9 months. It's different than other fillers. So it lasts way, like Botox, 2-3 months and your face looks normal again, right?
What did Kyle say about it when he saw it? Was he like, come on?
No, no, because day one it looked fine. He's like, oh no, it looks good. McKenna said I looked like a drag queen.
Okay.
Very, as McKenna would.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, your cheeks. And I understand why she was saying it. She didn't see me till day 2. That's why. And I did. Every time I'd smile, I'm like, oh my gosh, you look like a clown. Like a total clown. But
That's funny.
whatever. I tried it.
Good for you. Just, yeah.
It's still sensitive. Like when I smile, it still hurts a little bit. Like it's definitely more trauma to your face.
Yeah.
And she put like a syringe and a half on this side and only like half a syringe on this side. That's how much like more hollow my one side of my face was.
I guess we age differently.
I
on
guess.
different
It's
sides
bizarre.
of our
She kept
face.
just putting more and more. She's like, I don't usually. And then she put a little over here. She goes, I'm done over there and go over here. I'm like, all right.
Okay, so we're on the topic of aging. Let's talk about aging for a second.
Oh.
You don't want to talk about
No,
aging?
we'll talk about it. I just don't like aging.
Yeah. So is it the like getting older, you're going to die thing that bothers
No.
you? Or is it like the actual like physically
Yeah.
aging?
I don't like looking older. I don't know why. Well, no, I don't like.
Well, do you think there's people who are like, oh, whatever, it's
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think there's people that just don't care. They're like, it's life. You age. I'll have wrinkles. I love my saggy skin. Like, but do they? Or like, do you think people actually? Because there are those people out there that act that way. Are they actually feeling that way?
I never had been one to compare myself to people younger than me. It's always been like my age group, right? So I feel like I'm not aging rapidly. Like I feel like
not.
I'm just aging appropriately. So I don't feel insecure about my level of aging. I think it'd be different if I looked drastically older than people my
Right.
age. I might feel a bit more insecure about it. I might do things about it. But right now I just feel like I'm kind of on par.
I don't compare myself to other people younger than me. I compare myself to younger me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not to others. I
Oh,
just
no,
want to
that-
look like I
that's
looked.
fair.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
was younger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yesterday when we were waiting, we did evening shots for the prom photos as well. And so we were waiting and we were downtown and a lady walked by us and I'm like, oh, I graduated with her. And Kyle's like, she looks 65. I was like, yeah, I know, right? Like, it's so
Yeah.
weird. He's like, I would have thought that she was your mom's age, honestly. I was like, yeah.
I think at our age, there's an extreme, like, lifestyle has done.
Yeah.
Even how much sun people have gotten has
Yeah.
affected their face so much.
Or if they dye their hair.
Yeah, if they dye their
That
hair.
makes a huge difference. If
Yeah.
you're graying and just let the gray come in, which is fine. I mean, if that's your thing, I cannot do it.
Or how hard life kicked their ass. Like,
Or
it's
that, yeah.
insane what a variation there is with how much people our age have
Funny
aged.
for Kyle because he always he'll show me, he'll be like, this was the really hot girl in school, and then he'll show me what she looks like now. I'm like, that's what people don't realize. Like
Yeah.
the kids graduating now, like those girls, even at my reunions, the girls who were like those girls aren't those girls necessarily in 10 years.
Oh no, there's no predicting it. No, like, and the girls that are like just average or whatever are often like the most gorgeous, attractive, ladies in their late
and
20s.
guys.
Oh,
The guys that were
God,
super
yeah.
average in high school end up being like the handsome, like really
Absolutely.
good looking guys
Yeah.
later. Yeah, it's interesting. Some people definitely their looks peak in high school.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And but nobody wants that.
No.
Guys, though, I mean, they're lucky. They tend to just keep getting better and better.
I agree. It is actually quite interesting that's a thing. Like it legitimately is a thing. Guys definitely just get better with age. It's
they do.
weird.
Even if you look at like an 18-year-old, 17-year-old who's graduated, even fast forward 5 years, how much their
Yes.
face has changed.
That's interesting on TikTok and stuff. They'll do those things where like a group of guy friends, whatever, who obviously work out now. So they do like high school, their before picture and their now picture, and they're like not even the same human. Like
when I look at them, I always try to predict if they're going to be good looking or not. Like, he's going to be hot now. Or
sometimes you're like, how did that turn into that? Or someone like Matt Rife, who is just very kind of like whatever nerdy kind of average, who is so yummy now. Like, what? Just
some of the dorkiest guys end up being like
super hot. They start taking care of their bodies as they get older. They get their more like bone structure.
Their bone structure is huge.
Changes.
Even just like decent facial hair can do so much.
Facial hair can do a lot, actually. Take you from like a little boy to a man. Yeah.
It's
quite often the guys that were hot in high school are not the hot guys later on in life. They're the ones that are kind of like dad bod and meh.
And unfortunately, and that's why the whole joke is with peaking in high school, because often the kids that are like super popular, super whatever, that's it. Yeah. So like they have their moment. And I mean, of course, there's ones that go on and so maintain that charisma and maintain that level of drive and interesting.
Absolutely.
But I mean, just from my own experience, the guys that were super popular in middle school specifically, one of them is homeless now, and then a few of them are actual losers now. They were so they were so popular in high school
and charismatic, and
everyone loved them. Like loved them, and the ones that were just kind of just did their thing,
coasted through.
One of them is loaded now, like so rich.
That's my favorite, when those ones like these guys that you just barely notice are now like crazy successful, and
because they're just doing their thing and being, because
they had to work harder probably, right?
And they kind of had more of a future vision, right? This isn't like, life isn't now. Like I have plans, you know, whereas guys are just like living for the now. I mean, I think there's something to be said about having fun where you are and in what you're doing. Enjoy it, have fun, don't just be focused on, but if you really think that you're so awesome and like there's concerns there. This is the best you're ever gonna get, that's gonna be a problem for sure.
That's a letdown.
Yikes. For sure.
You had mentioned so my lease is up on my car.
Oh yeah.
So I had to get a new vehicle, and we went in. I don't care really about what I drive. I currently was in a hatchback Civic. I went from a Honda Pilot to a Civic because the kids were learning to drive. Easy car to learn on, a little Civic. And I loved that car. I loved the car. I don't know why, but I did. So we went in. Kyle really likes the Mach-E, the Mustang electric vehicle. So we go in. He's been talking about it for like a year. I don't love the car by any means, like the body style and all that. Anyway, so we took it for a test drive. I'm obsessed with it.
What?
I don't know. There's something, the way it drives.
Right.
When you're in, I love the inside of the car, like the way the seats feel. It feels kind of SUV-ish, but it doesn't look like an SUV. There's just so many elements about it. I still don't like the outside of it. It's very like average to me.
I don't like the exterior of Mustang so much.
I hate Mustangs. It's actually one of my least favorite cars.
I like vintage Mustangs.
I don't even like those. I just don't. I like a more round vehicle. I don't like, it's too angular for me or something. And this one's not. This one's more round. Anyway,
when I pulled up, I noticed it was a little. It's not what I was expecting.
Right. So it's a nice. It's fine. It is what it is. I'm obsessed with it now, though. Like driving it. I never wanted an electric car. I think that's annoying. I have an electric car now, but it goes 500 kilometers without needing to recharge. So I barely drive anyway. Like it's fine. We are literally right now plugging it into a regular plug-in in our house, and it is charging enough for me to get through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I haven't taken it to a spot to charge. We haven't put the extra charger in our house. We're going to get an upgraded charger at the house. Like we're going to put a dryer vent in or whatever, just so it gives more power off. So it'll charge faster. Because right now it's like doing I think it'll be sitting at 87%, and then I'll plug it in for like 15 hours and I'm at 100. Like that type of thing, right? Like it takes forever. But whatever. I don't need more than that.
You're not driving to
totally
Alberta.
But that's a long way to get to it. I had so much anxiety about letting go of my Civic.
How long did you have the Civic for?
4 years. Like
It wasn't
a
even that
4-year
long.
lease. I had like actual emotional attachment to this stupid car. Why? Why? Is it because my kids learn to drive on it?
I don't think so. I don't think you're sentimental about your kids learning to drive.
I'm
Are you?
not. So, but why? Like I was,
And you had one kid learn to drive on it.
and that.
Yeah, it's not like all your kids
Well,
learned to drive
McKenna
on
was
that car.
supposed to, and she just has
It didn't
still not
happen.
got her learner.
So it was one kid.
Exactly. So, but why? I like was having issues letting it go. McKenna and I took a picture in front of it at
I
the
wonder
dealership.
if it's because that was the car you had while your kids were in high school, which you love.
No.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
kids were in
though?
high school with the pilot too.
Well, not. I guess, but for Brooklyn's last couple years of high school, you had
Yeah.
it, and for all the McKenna's high school, you had it. Maybe you.
No, because I don't even drive McKenna around in it. McKenna gets picked up.
But are you attaching it maybe to a
don't
certain
know.
period of your life?
I don't know. It's so stupid. I was so
Or
annoyed
did you
with
just really
myself.
enjoy driving it that much?
I really love that car.
That could just be all
But
it
I don't care
is.
about cars. That's the
I don't care about
thing.
cars either, but I love my current car. Love it.
It's so
And I used to drive a purple van.
Yeah.
And I could care less
Yeah.
I couldn't care less what I drive. Do not care.
No, I don't either.
But I love my car right now. You probably just loved your
I'm
car.
fine now. After a couple days with the new car,
I never would have thought you would have gotten emotionally attached to a car though.
I wouldn't have either. It was so bizarre. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I feel like as I get older, I just get stupid about stuff.
More sentimental.
Who cares? Who cares? I can
feel
get
like-
another one if I want to one day. Like, it's who cares?
You are way more sentimental though about the kids in high school than you ever were about the kids in elementary. Like I don't
Yeah.
remember you caring about them like leaving elementary into middle
No, I
school
didn't.
like that. Like those kind of like big milestone moments you were like whatever about. Whereas like the whole graduation thing for you
It's a lot bigger.
is a lot bigger for you. Like and I don't know if that's like an aging thing or if that's just that matter. You like high school, you
Yeah,
know,
it must be.
like that's just more of what it meant more to you.
I don't like kids. That's part of it. So little
Right.
kids, I don't like. Right? I don't want to be
Right.
around those kids. I don't.
Right.
Want, I like this age. This like, as long as my kids' friends they're amusing. They're a good group of kids. They're just a
Right.
nice group. So they're fun.
Right.
They're fun to be around.
Right, but what's that got to do with like? That's why you enjoy this stage
I'm saying
more?
no. I'm saying maybe that's why. Like I
You enjoy
can
the stage
communicate
more.
with them differently. I just don't like little kids.
Right.
Maybe I still also don't like my own little kids.
No, you liked your kids.
Well, obviously I liked them. Well, I loved them. I don't know if I liked them all the time.
No, I know, but some parents like the whole. I cannot believe my baby is leaving kindergarten.
Right.
Like, that
No,
was,
but
like,
that's not
they're
who we are. But I'm not
crying.
upset that I'm not like that about graduation.
You were with Brooklyn though.
Yeah, that was that was different though.
But
I
how?
feel I don't know. That was more of a realization that a child that I've raised my whole life no longer is my child.
It wasn't about graduation.
No,
it was
that
about
was much bigger than that.
Yeah.
I think.
right.
I think.
Well, I will see what happens with McKenna. Like, are you feeling the same
No,
doom and gloom?
no,
you don't.
no, not at all.
So you've had that realization, you've worked through it, and now
Yeah.
you can just enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is awesome. Like I was with Robin graduating, whatever, I was like super excited for her, super proud. Like I think if I would have gone to a commencement, I think I probably would have cried. Like I can,
Right.
it's a pretty big deal, and you're proud of your kid or whatever. But there's been no moments in her life that I have felt like I've really like just enjoyed and lived through with her,
Right.
and like been in a moment with her. Like I don't feel maybe they're to come.
Yeah.
But so far I haven't had that experience. Like I can enjoy her enjoying them, and I can appreciate the fact
I love like the when they have the feels for another, like for a boy. I love all like
Yeah.
that banter. I love seeing them like that. Like that's the part that I enjoy, like seeing the relationships that they've had, just like their friendships that they've had, their whole, like she's got one friend she's been friends with him for forever, like
Right.
since preschool.
Right.
I love seeing that now that they're these grown
Yeah.
humans, and I like watching it's the relationship part of it that I
Yeah.
really like.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's cool. I think
Yeah.
it's fun. It's more relatable. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
I don't know. I'm just a big weirdo. I just really like high school.
No. You do really
I do really
and
like
you like high school movies and like you just like high school.
I do.
You liked being there, you like watching movies about it, and you liked your kids are in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do when they're all out.
I don't know.
When actions of like you'll have no high school to think about anymore. What are you gonna do?
My grandkids one day hopefully will be in high school.
You'll be that grandma that just loves high school so much.
Well, we have 4 years with Ashton here still. He's starting high school this year, so.
Yeah.
But it's different with a boy.
It is
It's
different
not
with a
the
boy,
same
for
experience
sure.
with him at all, but it's
Yeah.
still fun.
I mean high school was fine. Like I wouldn't it was okay. I wouldn't say I loved high school, but it was okay. Positive memories, no trauma. I do enjoy a good high school movie.
I had trauma in high school. Like I had some bad times in high school too, but I still really loved it.
Yeah. Some people just
Yeah.
there are people out there that really loved high school. I
Yeah.
don't think that is unusual at all.
No, I don't either.
No, and I tease you obviously, but no, there are people who just have like just really great memories in high school, and the second their kids get to it, they're like, "Ooh, I get to live this all over again and
Right.
enjoy it," and it brings back my memories and brings them right back to it. I've just, yeah, I don't get all worked up about it.
I know.
Maybe maybe that's to come. I don't know. Maybe that's to come. I'm not. You know what though?
You're gonna be like the wedding mother.
No, I realize about myself, I'm not overly sentimental.
Yeah.
And I knew that about myself, but I have been noticing it more and more when it comes to things like this. Like, even like I never kept my wedding dress. I kept the veil. But I do not understand why anybody would want to keep their wedding dress. Like that is just lost. It's a dress.
Yeah.
Like it's just a dress. Most marriages end up in divorce anyways. Why are you keeping the dress? Mine won't. I have pictures of it.
Yeah.
I kept a veil in case my kid wants to see it. My daughter is really sentimental. So it's not as if I pass this on to her. And Ryan is too. But yeah, I'm just not. I don't feel sentimental about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So there are things I do for sure.
I didn't think I was, but I am.
You are. You're way more sentimental.
I'm more,
than I
but
am.
not to like things. It's more like the memory of things.
Yeah.
I don't I don't have my wedding dress either.
I heard this amazing quote. I think it was BJ Novak. Do you know who that is?
No.
You would recognize him for sure. He said that nostalgia is your memories without the anxiety. So which is exactly your high school experience.
Yeah,
like it's your
absolutely.
memories, your good memories,
Absolutely, my good
without the
memories.
anxiety. That's nostalgia right there.
Totally.
And it's a liar, but it's
Absolutely,
but
it is.
I mean, it's lovely. I for sure have nostalgia about certain things.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I do.
Oh, I know you do for some things too. Yeah,
I know I do. Yeah, but I'm definitely not like sentimental.
No.
I don't. I guess I am with certain memories, but like especially not with things. No, not at all. But yeah, anyway, that was
That's a roundabout way to say I think I'm a loser for having separation anxiety from my old
your car. Yeah, we kind of went from car back to high school.
Because it all goes back to me in my high school apparently. But yeah, no. But that day I did hear these bands playing outside because the dealership is right next to Dean's school. So I did hear I heard all those bands that he was talking about. Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that. Like, I would have totally gone if I would have known about it.
Would you have?
I think so.
He's not in any of the bands though.
Oh, but he does all the tech for it.
I know, but
Yeah.
like
I think if he is helping make something happen,
you're just there.
I would want to
Yeah,
go.
that's fair.
Yeah, I would probably want to go. I also feel like if he gets into like anything with theater, I'm gonna go see the shows that he's involved with.
Oh, absolutely. That's different to me though.
This kind of falls into the same category,
Okay.
and I just kind of feel like he does so much. Like, they just had a musical they did, and I didn't go see it because he's not in it. Well,
Right.
he did like all the sound for it and the mics or whatever. I'm like, well, I should still go to support him. But the thing about it is that he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't. Why would you want to go? Like, he doesn't care if I'm there.
Right.
And then I feel like guilty that I'm one of these parents that doesn't show
no-show
up.
parent.
And yeah, like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the no-show parent for sure. Like, but he's always been so like independent and capable, and like he's so much like a go away mom kind of kid. Like, he just wants to do his thing. I just have always just respected his space.
No,
and
that's
it's
fair.
almost to like I'm so backed off from what he does
Right.
that it's almost, I don't even consider going to anything. Like, there'll be like emails that go out about like, oh, there's like a showcase or whatever. And I don't even consider going
Right.
because I don't think that he necessarily cares if I'm there. I feel like I'm annoying if I'm there.
Yeah.
But with Robin, I would totally go to all her stuff because she would want me there.
I always feel like I've been like such a like people still go to parent teacher interviews in high school.
Yeah,
Like,
they do.
They do. Like, I wouldn't even consider
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
ever.
either. No, I wouldn't
meeting
either.
the teachers.
I don't think that you need to unless there's an issue. No.
It's open to do it though. Like, they set a date where like, come meet the teachers. Like,
Yeah.
it's still a thing,
To-
and people do go still
people
meet the
go-
teachers.
People are very much invested in their kids' like scholastic achievements.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not that parent.
Well, and I think too, like you in particular find importance in like events like prom and like
more social.
more social, traditional. Like, you want to maintain those things. For other people,
It's
it's
university,
academic.
yeah.
It's like
I think for the majority of people, it's more that way. Yeah.
like it's what they're going to be doing for their. I don't get worked up about either, obviously. Like, I'm extremely just chill. I just don't. Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit emotionally removed from it all. Maybe.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think
I wish I was more invested in my kids' education, and like I wish I was maybe a little harder on them about that. But at the same time, if they're not passionate about something, then I don't feel like me telling them to be passionate is going to make any difference. Even if they achieve all these great grades and they go to university, that doesn't mean they're going to end up doing what they're in university for. Even, you know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
yeah.
I resent the whole thing that you have to be successful. You have to go to university.
No, which
and
you
get a
don't
degree.
by any means. By any means.
But there's certain parents that think that if your kids aren't pulling A's and are on the honor roll, you're not being successful
Right.
in high school. I don't think that's the
Fair?
be all end
No.
all. And I think some kids don't do well in high school, but they go on to do great in college or university because they're doing something they're interested in.
Yeah.
So
But it's not even that necessarily. Like, people going to trades or to whatever, right? It doesn't necessarily. I mean, I guess that's still post-secondary
It's
education,
post-secondary.
but still, it's not
and
necessarily
they're
like
successful
a formal,
and they're doing well because
Yeah.
that's what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just because they're not doing good in German 11 doesn't mean that they're not. I don't know. I think as parents, it's so easy to like push your own agenda onto
Yeah.
your kid because that's what you think is important.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Also, my emotional removal from it could also be a detriment.
And that's what I think in the back of my head. I'm like, I wish maybe I was a bit more. Maybe they needed that extra push, but I don't know.
But both my kids did well, so maybe I'm speaking from a position of never had to worry.
Right.
Because they did fine. So what's there to worry about?
My kids definitely could have done a lot better because they could. They just chose not to.
For what? They could do better for what?
And that's the thing, right?
Like what are they missing
We've been
out
riding
on?
McKenna hard the last couple of weeks because like the week before, the week of commencement.
Is she gonna kill you for saying this?
I don't really care. She wasn't graduating still because she hadn't handed in any of her English. And I got this message from her teacher, which I get from her teachers quite often because this is what she does. And I know McKenna's super strong in English. This is one of those subjects that she's very well written and she's just good. And her teacher even made that comment to me that if she was actually just handing in at the beginning of the year, her teacher was putting her stuff up on her walls. Like, McKenna does well, but she just doesn't do it.
Right.
So then she handed it all in. So basically they said, if you don't hand this stuff in, you don't get to walk at commencement because you're not graduating, right? The week of, and she still hadn't. She said, I'll get it in, and then she didn't. She's totally fine. I think her end grade ended up being a high B, and she didn't barely hand anything in. Like, she can do her stuff. So I'm like, if you actually would have applied yourself, and maybe I would have rode you a little harder, who knows what she could have done. But
yeah, again, no one's looking at their, unless you know what you want to do and you know you have to achieve certain grades to get to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
What's the point of giving your kids undue anxiety?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's any point in that.
Like, I know she struggles with test anxiety. Hence the reason we still haven't even got our learners, because she just is so scared of taking any tests. So I never have really pushed her scholastically, because she literally just turns into a crazy person where she has to think of doing tests and schoolwork, right? But I don't know. Maybe it was a disservice too by not pushing her harder.
Whatever. I just, you know what? At the end of the day, I think as parents, we all are just capable of so much, and we just can't be the best in all scenarios. Like, maybe I'm not as good at pushing my kids in or as involved in high school, but I know that I'm really great in other areas.
Totally.
So and my priorities as a parent are not someone else's priority as a parent, and they seem to be okay for now. So I'm not going to beat myself up over where I'm lacking, because...
Could you imagine your parents have told you what to go into, like to push you in a certain direction? Like, that would have never flown with me if my parents... my parents didn't push me into university either, though, right? Maybe it's just a thing with us. It's just...
I almost wonder, though, if that was a bit of like... Because I kind of remember talk... It may have even been for people older than us, but like university was a very secular concept. Like,
interesting.
You went and you like definitely came out the other end not a Christian,
right,
probably an atheist.
Right.
I think university is often
things that
like university was kind of seen as like a place where the world went, the secular world went. Yeah. It just was not like. I don't think my parents would ever have stopped me from going. No. But it definitely was not like encouraged or pushed or like, and I just wonder if that was like
our circle.
Who do you know that went to university?
I don't.
Do you know anybody who went to university?
Well, I do, but not from that circle.
Not from that circle.
No.
Of course we do. We have friends that are teachers. So they did. My husband did.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. None of my like churchy friends went to university, like trade schools and stuff, maybe, or they went to learn a specific the trade schools.
I'm like actually trying to think of someone, and I can't. No, that's weird.
I just wonder if it was a Christian. We'll have to dive into that one day more to figure out if that's like a Christian culture thing of the time.
Interesting.
Because I just remember hearing things like university is where like the professors would like tell you how stupid it was to believe in God.
Right.
And it was really hard to maintain any kind of faith system in university. I remember just hearing these things, not from at home, but like from...
And everyone went to some sort of Bible college.
You sure did.
A lot of people did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just what you did. Like, if you weren't going to be a pastor, you were going to be a pastor's wife.
Set the bar high. Oh, man.
Anyway, so before we end today, I wanted to talk about the because I have to talk about it.
Is this a hot topic?
Yeah, and we're not going to do like
self-imposed.
It's self-imposed because this is what I want to talk about.
Okay,
I want to talk about the submarine.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Okay, I'm so excited to talk
about it.
And
the ridiculousness of it.
Okay, so I'm going to start.
Yeah, you are.
I'm so excited. Yeah. Okay, so my whole thing with the submarine is first of all, it's awful.
Oh,
those people did not deserve to die.
No.
It's tragic. I feel bad for their families. It's horrific. But come on. Come on. Come on.
It almost seems like a prank. Like, it's so ridiculous that it seems like a prank.
What are we doing?
Just hopping into these hunks of metal that are driven by a remote control for a game console?
Okay, so like if someone's listening to this 10 years from now and don't know the story, to save you from Googling, everyone right now on Earth knows what happened, but future people. These people got into this. It wasn't even a submarine. It was like a submersive. I'm making this stupid face right now. It's like this like underwater. This is where you need to be seeing our capsule. This is where you need to be seeing our faces. It's like a submersive capsule. Mm-hmm. Some of the gear came from like a Camping World. The thing was controlled with like a Xbox knockoff controller.
Yes, like a $20 controller.
And they went to this thing went to the depth of the Titanic.
The size of a minivan. The interior of a minivan.
The interior of a minivan. You have to sit crisscross applesauce. Like, and and first of all, you don't even get to see the Titanic out the window, apparently. It's being projected onto a screen.
What? Well, yeah, that would make sense because there was no windows in it.
I think it's one at the front.
At the front, but like the nose.
Anyway, I heard that you don't actually get to really see it. Like, it's kind of projected. I don't know if that's true. Okay. I don't have any time. Okay. I'm not researching that right now. And secondly, there's like no bathroom on this thing. It's like a curtain
with like a pot, basically,
with a pot to piss in, literally.
Yeah. How long was it supposed to take? I don't know that. Do you know? Like there and back.
I feel like maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I thought it was
longer than that for some reason.
Maybe I think maybe to get down
was like 8. I thought.
Oh my gosh,
wasn't it? I don't know. I'm just making crap up now. For some reason, I thought I heard that,
but like.
Either way,
like I'm pretty sure the Navy doesn't even have submarines that can go that low.
No.
So that's
why we use robots to go down there.
Okay, so here's my question: who are these people that? It's not even about the money, because I've heard it compared with the amount of money that those people have. It's like buying a sandwich.
Yeah, it's $250,000, but for them,
it's nothing.
Not a big
so
deal.
Money's off the table. It's like us buying a sandwich. It's nothing. What type of life are you living that you feel like nothing can hurt you? That seems like a good idea.
Well, there was also, Kyle was telling me, one guy that was supposed to go in didn't
bailed.
Because in the actual like contract, like the waiver that he was signing, it said something about death like 4 times on the first page. He's like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, but what's going on in your life where you feel, I guess when you have this life where you can literally pay for problems to go away, do you develop like the sense of nothing can hurt me?
Is it blind trust? Like, why did they trust this guy?
Why do they trust this guy? I guess because they've had a couple other successful...
But not like that.
I think that same thing had gone down already and come back up successfully with a group of people.
No.
I swear to God. There was like a previous trip that had happened.
I don't feel like it went that far, though. Down.
There's like a girl.
It's so far down.
This was not its first trip that was unsuccessful. It had gone at least one other time.
Down to the Titanic, though?
Yes. I'm Googling it right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to Google that because I don't know about that. All I know, it was a Mickey Mouse rig that was put together. There was also the fact that this to me, I would have stopped me right in my tracks, that the owner of the company that built the submarine or whatever, I guess. The submersive. His wife was related to that couple in Titanic that went down with Titanic. She's a great-great-granddaughter of... They're depicted in the movie as like the couple that are like the old couple that are laying in bed that go down with it, but they're actual... those aren't fictional characters. They're based off of actual people that died on the Titanic, and this lady's is the great-great-granddaughter of that couple. Right there, that would stop me. Like, we need to stop trying to get down to the Titanic. Let the robots do it. Why are there's a reason why we're not down there.
Yeah, I can't find it. I'll have to look it up later. But
it's really here nor there, though. Even that, like,
who does this? How did they find that many stupid? Even if it's one trip.
Yeah.
Let's just pretend it's one trip.
Yeah.
How do you even find 5 people to go down?
People want what no one else has.
Is that what it comes down to?
It's got to be. Let's say with the space thing, right? I understand space more because we send spaceships to space all the time.
It's
safe.
a common.
It's not like
no one goes that deep.
No, for a reason.
For a reason.
For a reason.
And there's apparently like
submarines don't even go that deep.
Apparently there's like safeguards where like it had like several ways to get back up in case something. There's even a way of them getting up if everyone was unconscious. Like these things like detached from the whatever.
But their form of like communication was like text messaging and stuff.
They
like
had no
it was
GPS.
It was so beyond not advanced. That's the thing. There was nothing like technologically sound about this vessel at all.
It was not certified by any professional anything. It was just like
it's laughable.
It is laughable.
There's that one video where a guy is getting like a tour of it, and it's laughable. And the guy explaining, like the owner of the vessel is talking about where all these parts are coming from and shows the remote control and all this. I'm like, it's almost like a prank.
I just cannot even. So it's really hard to feel sorry for this. I feel sorry for the 19-year-olds. For sure. Who went with his dad and probably was freaked out or whatever. Yeah. Even like this is a movie for sure. This is a movie. And then like the freaking stepson that was at like the Blink-182 concert. Oh my gosh. Like
dad's missing, but I'm still gonna go.
He could have gone and enjoyed himself and gone home, but he has to post about it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just like these ridiculously wealthy people who don't even know what reasonable risk is.
Bizarre.
Oh my gosh. Like,
and the resources it took to try and find them, Coast Guard, U.S.
So we
and
have
Canadian.
Canada. I think even another country was involved too.
Oh, I'm sure. They brought in everybody.
So much money. Put into like...
Why? They should have to pay that back. I think. This company is worth that much money. You should be giving that back.
And then you see all the reels like on TikTok making fun of them. There's already like a TikTok, like a submarine filter where your head's like in the glass thing. Like,
that's horrible.
We're all like, this has become a public spectacle
because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Or even like I saw a graph today where it was like Titanic deaths by year, and it was like 1912, this huge spike, and then it's like flat. Then it's like 2023, bleep. like
I'm sorry if you're putting yourself into a position where there is literature that you are signing saying, hey, there's a very good chance you could die, and you still go ahead with it. I don't feel bad for you.
The whole thing is just absolutely absurd.
It's asinine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, who do we think we are?
Who do we think we are? These are people who I don't think it would even have occurred to them that something bad would ever happen to them. I don't think that would even have ever occurred to them.
Well, did one guy. I'm sure he's thinking his lucky stars now that he backed out.
Oh my gosh, that guy's going to get so many interviews.
Be so mad at my husband if he died that way. I would be so mad.
Yeah. Because it's inexcusable. Especially because you would have been arguing with him the whole time before he did it. Oh
my gosh. I've been like, I would have just been like, this is ridiculous.
Why are you doing this?
Look at what you're signing. He'd be like, oh, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to go down to the belly of the...
Do you think that Kyle would do something like that if he was like Ryan would never.
So he said he would definitely go to space. He wouldn't do Titanic because that doesn't interest him. But if it was something down there that interests him, he'd go.
I just remember a time where Kyle said he would never go on a cruise. So I would be really shocked if he would get in a submarine. There's something too about like you were so trapped in that thing.
Now that you say that, I do remember watching something where people were in it.
Yes.
There was a film crew and everything in it. They didn't go that deep though.
They didn't.
Mm-mm. I do. Now that you say that, I just remember that because there was a guy like talking.
That was their first time going that deep.
Absolutely. Nobody goes that deep. No one can survive that deep.
But I feel like they must have there must have been a reason why they thought they could do it.
I don't know why. Because submarines don't even go down. Like, there's a reason why no one is down there at the Titanic. Otherwise, this would be like a thing that everybody does. Go for tours of the Titanic.
I just had the impression that this thing they had developed a way that they could do it.
No.
because of the material they used or whatever.
No, they were all warned by everybody that those materials were not compatible with each other for what they were doing.
They must have sent it down by itself. Or does it have to be manned from... They had to get in and be bolted in from the outside.
Oh, and that's another thing. That's ridiculous. So even if you're not down at the bottom of the ocean imploded and you float to the top, you're running out of air if they can't find you because you can't actually get out.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is that it is bolted shut from the outside? Why can't we bolt it shut from the inside?
I get like submarines, like once they're under the water, there's no getting out. Like,
sure.
Because of the weight of the waters. But they can at least rise.
And then you can get out.
Or divers can at least get to, because it's still within diving distance.
Exactly. Asinine.
What world do we live in?
No, actually.
What world do we live in?
Who do they think they are? Because that wouldn't have happened.
Would have been, there's grieving families right now.
And I understand that, but I'm sorry to them. But at the same time, this was those people's choice to do this.
It's a perfect example of how two things can be so true at the same time. Like, it's so sad, so tragic, so terrible. Of course they didn't deserve to die. Of course they didn't. No one deserves that.
Of course not.
But it is also true that, come on, like, this ridiculous. Like, comically ridiculous. And like, I just wonder, like, what type of SNL sketches there's going to be.
It's coming now for sure.
It's coming.
There's so much coming.
I can't even wait. Yeah, it's what a thing. Unreal. Anyway.
All right.
That's our hot topic. That's it, man. Had to talk that one out.
Proms and submarines.
You know what? It's what's going on right now for us, and we talked it out. And that's it.
All right. I feel good. I feel that was therapy.
Was it?
A little bit.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.